We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.
Welcome to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. It is a big day today, guys. We have the legendary Tamie Smith on the pod. We are excited to have her. Let's take a break, check in with Horse Trailer Pros, and we will get to it.
Want to advertise on the Jon and Rick Show? Contact Jon at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Does your horse struggle with stress, tight muscles, or fatigue? NupaFeed USA delivers advanced supplements trusted by riders nationwide. Our magnesium supplement with unique MAH helps reduce anxiety and support muscle relaxation. And for lasting stamina, our L-carnitine builds energy and strength without making horses fizzy. Easy to feed, proven to perform. Support your horse's health and performance today with NupaFeed.
Welcome to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. Everybody, we are in our episode whatever, but it's, you know what's so whatever about it is because every episode is amazing. So thanks for joining us. We are in our season 7. Horse Trailer Pros has been along with us the whole way. Jon, we have a great show because, I always learn so much from Tamie, and she's a great friend. Not only that, she's a great rider and a great, as she has used the words, ambassador and steward of the sport, which, we all want to be. And that's what we all try to be. So what do you have on your mind as far as being stewards of our sport? But before I finish that thought, thanks Seminole Feed for being the segment sponsor. They are new to our sponsorship, Jon. Seminole Feed is a great feed. They have a huge line of feed products as well as stores. I think they have 260 stores throughout the U.S. Southeast, but they have four stores around in Florida and 2 in Ocala. So go there, buy your products, get your feed there. They have a dedicated feed manufacturing area that just does horse feed. So it's really safe on their production of feed. I think the one thing, Jon, that I like about Seminole Feed is guess what they don't add to their feed products and advertise it?
I don't know.
Probiotics.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm just learning about this right here in this exact moment.
Because it popped into my head. Probiotics are not activated in dry form. So when Seminole Feed's nutritionists all look at probiotics, in which a lot of feeds say comes with probiotics, they said the probiotics were doing nothing. And so why are we advertising probiotics in our feed when it actually does nothing? So they took all the verbiage of probiotics out of their feed ingredients and they don't use it. That's why they promote what, Jon?
Equibrew?
You're on board.
Boom.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Just the little story about Seminole Feed. Everybody go out there, buy Seminole Feed. It's really good. And it's in Ocala and other areas throughout the Southeast.
And I love going into Seminole Feed. We have one here just down by Airport Road on Highway 40. And I go there all the time. It's a fun store to shop at, like whether you're buying horse feed or grass seed or just general horse supplies. It is a really fun store. So go check it out for sure.
Agreed.
So you were asking me some sort of deep, meaningful question about
stewards of our sport. Evidently, you and I and Briggs are on a very great little chain of communications with a lot of great people throughout the world. And I think we all have debates and talks about our sport and where we're going and what we're doing, and where we should be looking at, what we shouldn't be looking at. What are your thoughts? As I know you have thoughts, and Briggs kind of called you a word.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine. It's
that's
fine.
all right. But
No, I think honestly, I would go even bigger picture than like talking about levels and 5 stars and 4 stars and shorts and
right. Just
longs.
the sport.
I think just one of the things that separates eventing from many of the other horse sports is it does require a certain amount of grit and toughness. I think jumping, dressage, eventing, they all require skill. And I'm not saying that jumping or dressage doesn't require grit and determination, because I know it does for those guys. Like, that is, anytime you're competing at the top level or trying to compete at the top level, it's intense. But um, it was interesting from the last show, and I think I can say this without upsetting anybody because we had a good little conversation, or part of a short conversation on the YouTube page with one of the viewers who was a little upset with me, I think, because I was commenting from Kentucky last show how Tim had come over and was banged up and rode through some injury. And the concern was that we don't want to be glorifying riding through injuries. And on one hand, I understand that, but I do think it takes that attitude, and it doesn't mean you're riding through something that you can't ride through, right? I certainly would never condone riding with a concussion or riding through something that is going to hinder your ability to do your job to make sure that your horse is looked after and taken care of. But the point I was making then was, like, Tim did have a thing and he knew it was under control. He had dealt with his doctors. His doctors gave their blessing and he came over, and honestly, he was a badass. And I thought it was commendable, and it was an inspiration.
I agree with you. I didn't even know that happened. I didn't look at those comments, but and not to cut you off on your thought process. I don't think you were glorifying riding with the injury. I think you were just saying that we are tough and gritty. And I would have to say, I did see Tim and talk to him, and the horse in the 5 star. And
there you go. Now you're back.
I don't think because. Yeah, sorry, my phone's ringing. I should have put it on airplane mode. But his ability not to really, he wanted to stay out of the way of the horse, which he did, and he had a beautiful clear show jump run. I joked around. I said because he couldn't pull.
Yeah,
yeah. So,
well, I think so. So just to finish my thought on that, what I was gonna try to kind of finish with is, I think, to your point with Briggs giving me a hard time on the WhatsApp group, or our viewer, who is a great person, and I know they've watched, I've seen them comment on our show on the YouTube channel before, and I appreciate every time that they do. We should be able to have those conversations. She should be able to say, don't glorify that, and have that opinion. And I should be able to say, well, actually, I think we should glorify that. That was amazing. And we should. And I think that's the thing. I feel as leaders in the sport, you should be able to have those cool, calm conversations and be okay with, like, if they don't agree with me, that she may still come back after this and be like, no, you're still an idiot. But that's fine. I am an idiot, but I'm one that cares a lot about the sport, and thought that was a pretty impressive week out there. So,
I agree. I mean, and obviously we all have our stories, and it was very nice when you're going to be hearing Tamie talk, talk about her revelations in her life. I mean, we're never too old to have a revelation. I think it happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
And the stewardship for the sport is each of ours individually, and I think, I mean, Briggs went through stuff from Kentucky, and we, had to really pull together as our family and try to work through what we were doing. And I think we all do feel like we do the right things for our horses. I think you feel the same way. And what I do get a little upset about is when people attack before they ever know any of the details or what's going on. I think we're really good at attacking people instead of just kind of letting everything calm down and know that there's circumstances for what things happen. And we are always going to do the best thing behind our horses. That will never change. We will never make a decision that isn't the best one for whichever horse we have going forward. And you do the same thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we all try. And, kind of on that point, the thing that does upset me is when people, for anyone in any sport, excuse me, get like, you should be able to have an opinion. It is a public sport. It is out there. You should be able to have your opinion. You should be able to voice it. But I think there is a fine line between having an opinion and then trying to weaponize social media to make sure that your opinion is the one that happens. And that, I think, happens in life too much right now. And that's kind of the point I guess I'm trying to make, is like, we should be able to have discussion, whether it's personal or public, and it should be able to be respectful and realize, I think 90% of the time, everybody in this sport is trying to do what they think. I would say probably more than 90% of the time, they're trying to do what they think is the right thing. Sometimes they're wrong, but they're trying.
Right.
It's a hard sport.
I think you used the right word, weaponize. I think if everybody who is listening to this podcast or knows, when you want to have an opinion, that's great. But remember, your opinion is not fully recognized by all the facts. And your opinion might be generated from a one-sided vision of what you view. So to your point of weaponizing, and I will say, I mean, people were weaponizing opinions at some point, and we all take back at that. And so I ask everybody out there to have an opinion, but understand you don't know all the facts and that your opinion to you matters, but make sure that you don't try to hurt people with that opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, to that point, whether it's about a specific horse or a situation or levels in the sport or what you think is going to happen in the future, whatever it is, I have had very strong opinions about things in the past that I was sure I was right about. And I was sure that I had been reasonable to that point and listened to all sides and dug my heels in and said, no, this is the way it is. And later on had to come back and say, well, actually I was not correct about that. And, I know we've talked about it before, but the most obvious one for me was the modified level. I remember when Mike Huber came up with modified, I told him it was dumb and that there was no way that should happen. We were just dumbing down the sport and going to ruin eventing because we were just making things easier and people need to have things to strive for. And it was unnecessary and going to be a burden on organizers and ridiculous, and that I would never compete in one. And then I competed in one and I was like, wow, actually, this is really good for the horses and it gives people a place to go. And it does give you a nice stepping stone to the preliminary level. And you can help these horses along more and help these riders along more. And I was wrong. And I don't say that to be like, gosh, aren't I a great humble guy? I say it to say I was actually pretty adamant. I wouldn't say rude, but I was adamant that this was a bad idea. And I needed to be I needed to definitely in that moment be more open about it. And, the point is, in that moment, I was sure. And so I think sometimes when you think you're sure, maybe that's when you need to take a second thought. When you're 100% positive on something, maybe you need to think about it. Because a lot of times when I'm 100% positive about something, I'm not right.
I appreciate that, John, because I'll remember that the next time we disagree on something.
Now, with you, I'm always right.
No, but here's the thing, and this is where I'm 110% sure.
Yeah, you're probably wrong then.
That my opinion is going to always remain the same.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I hate wearing pennies in all three phases. I will never change that opinion. I do it with a smirk on my face.
Oh, so good.
And I will never change my opinion.
That's That's a very important one to dig your heels in on for sure. Awesome.
You know how that is, Jon. You hate it too. So,
I
but
don't
we
love
do
it.
it.
I don't love it for sure.
But we
I
do
don't.
it. But we do it.
We do it. It is what it is. We love you.
It's fun going to those pony club shows. I just love them.
Yeah, I love Pony Club. I do. I was in Pony Club. I was in 4-H. I was in Pony Club.
I love 4-H, by the way. 4-H,
4-H was awesome.
Amazing. You know what? My dog was in 4-H, and I won like obedience stuff, and I did things with other animals. Like I don't remember if I had a pig, but I had something. I don't know. A lot of 4-H stuff.
Real quick, and then we should probably get to Tamie. I in 4-H, we used to have a food booth, and I got to every summer for probably 4 or 5 summers feed the actor who I cannot remember his name, who played Luke Duke of the Dukes of Hazzards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he came up. Dukes of Hazzard. Sorry, he came up to
the brunette.
Yeah. He came to the Ozaki County Fair every summer, and I would.
That's pretty cool.
I would run a food booth.
What are the 4 H's of 4-H?
Oh gosh, it's your hands for better building, your heart for better something, your health, and hands, heart, health,
and hoariness.
What? No, no. I can't believe I don't remember this. We had to say it
all the time.
Oh, hold on.
Health, hands. Come on, I know it. Do you know it, Briggs? You never were in 4-H.
Hold on, I'm gonna get it.
Okay,
just give me a second.
Go. We had to do all those. I mean, it was so good. You go to everybody's house, you sit down with your little books, and you had to write stuff, and it was like a whole thing. It was the 4 Clovers. 4-H.
Yeah, no, I know. We did made like a big fancy plaque, hand painted plaque. Before I got it.
Okay, go.
You got to head from our stalls. It was fun. So it is head, heart, hands, and health. And the pledge that I now remember because of ChatGPT, I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living. Honestly, I needed to hear that.
That needs to be our focus. We not only have wings, people will find out, but we now have 4 H's.
Yes. All right. I love it. Let's take a break. Thank you so much to Seminole Feed for sponsoring this segment. I'm not sure that we learned anything, but we had fun. And now we
learned anything where?
This was a great segment, to be honest. We learned a lot about the world, and I'm very proud of it. So thank you to Seminole Feed for sponsoring it. It was great to get the show rolling, and we are going to be right back.
Tamra Smith.
With Tamra Smith, direct from her home in California. West Coast, represent.
Hey, here we go.
Does your horse struggle with stress, tight muscles, or fatigue? NupaFeed USA delivers advanced supplements trusted by riders nationwide. Our magnesium supplement with unique MAH helps reduce anxiety and support muscle relaxation. And for lasting stamina, our L-carnitine builds energy and strength without making horses fizzy. Easy to feed, proven to perform. Support your horse's health and performance today with NupaFeed.
I just got back from Magnolia Sands schooling the horses cross country. It is such a useful place to go. If you are here for the winter season and you want to go cross country schooling, Magnolia Sands needs to be on your list. It is awesome, great jumps. You do have to make reservations, so you're gonna text 615-414-0781 or send them an email at magnoliasandsfarm@gmail.com. You're gonna have a great time.
EquiBrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
EquiBrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order Equibrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Everyone says they feed the best, but not every feed is made the same. Seminole Feed is built on fixed formulas. And made in a medication-free mill for unmatched safety. Every bag delivers consistency your horse can feel and performance you can see. Because when it matters, there is only one best, the original low-starch feed, Seminole Wellness.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are joined this week by the one and only, we're going to say, superstar / bad girl of eventing. She loves that. Tamie Smith. You're shaking your head. Yeah, you love that. You love that now. So, great friend of the show, great friend of ours. Tamie, thank you for coming on.
I think she's a good girl.
Right. For sure. For sure. Before we get into this, Tamie, we do just have to say we are in the Nupa Feed segment. Nupa Feed is a great product. I know almost everybody in the sport has or does use it. It is a great, they have a lot of great products. And Rick, you're going to tell us all about it.
Yeah, Nupa Feed is a magnesium that works on your horses very well. We use it for all of ours. Plus, we use the pump liquid on a daily basis. You go to nupafeedusa.com to use or to order it, and it's very simple to order, and it's a great product. They also have a long line of other products that will help your horse if you're looking into other items. You can go right to that website and find out what you need.
Awesome. So, Tamie, you're back home in California. That must be nice because you had a pretty long winter season out here on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's so great to be back home. I didn't realize how much I love where I live.
You did, because you come on this podcast previously and said, it's my home. I love being here. I never want to leave.
I know, but every time you go away for a long time, you lose appreciation when you're there all the time. And just coming home, just driving home last night was just, I was like, I live here. It was awesome. Just driving. I drove to Carolinas this morning to go see them and Kennedy, and then drove to the barn to check on the horses. And I love it here. I love where I live. I mean, they came up with that saying, there's no place like home. I think that's for a lot of people.
For sure. You are the California girl. And that said, we're always super excited when you come out on the East Coast. Some of us not as excited because we know you're going to kick our butts at all the events, which is super annoying. And so you came out here, and I think pretty early on in the season, you had your first run at Chattahoochee. Is that where you started up?
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to kind of run through this in my head. Tell me if I get this right. You went from Chattahoochee, then you were at Carolina, then you went to somewhere. Stableview, and then it was Kentucky, and then you finished up there at Tryon, right?
Yeah.
And I think you just sum it up like this. She won every 4-star
I know.
in the lineup. So
it's super impressive and honestly kind of annoying.
Yeah. But that's okay. That's what California produces, evidently.
Totally.
Winners.
Totally. So just tell us about the trip out and kind of what I mean, I think we know, but like what the trip out this season, sort of the end goal for this year is.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been out to the East Coast to do a campaign like this in a few years, I think since 21. And I just, I think I've been kind of a little bit off the radar the last 2 or 3 years, partly because I've been building my string after my mom had retired. And I've just, quietly been home kind of producing those horses. So it really felt like it was time to kind of test them and get into a new environment, go see, what and how they measured up against my peers and everybody in the events. And I will say that I was so pleasantly surprised, because when I was here last time, like just the improvements in the venues and what was unbelievable. It was really cool just seeing how Bucart Farm has improved so much, and the course design there, and Carolina, even like us being able to compete on the grass for the dressage and the show jumping, and just the overall footing in the cross country was unbelievable. The hospitality at all the places was second to none. Like I really felt like really welcomed, and the horses really stepped up. I knew that they were on the verge of really stepping up, but I hadn't tested it yet, because that's kind of how I think everybody goes into competitions thinking that they're training, and some protect the horses to get the results and some don't protect. I tend not to protect the horses to get the results. And so I'll have more scattered, mistakes on their records at times because of that. But it's kind of my philosophy. I want to test and really know, and you don't ever get the feeling that you have in a competition And so at home, it's easy to test them and feel what you're going to feel. But I was super stoked with every single horse and how they came out and how they showed up.
I think
and the riders too. We brought a group of riders with us as well, and they were awesome as well.
Yeah, no, it was a big crew. And I was just going to say, I think it is a pretty great way that you can see it when you compete your horses. You're out there with the plan of being competitive, or at least you seem to be with those 4-star horses this year and the 3-star horses you brought out. And, I think what is cool to see is you go out there, you go for it. You maybe have a little mistake here, a little mistake there, but they're all quality horses. And it's not like you come out and, oh, well, this one is the one that wins, and then the others make mistakes. It's like, this one wins this weekend, that one wins the next weekend. And that was evident from Kentucky to Tryon, right? It was pretty cool.
Denito.
Yeah.
Denito came out at Kentucky, not himself. And we had some things leading up to Kentucky that created that. But you don't know. You wish that they could speak, and they do speak based on their actions. But yeah, then he came into Tryon ready to execute, and was foot perfect.
Yeah, no, it's cool it's cool for me to watch, because I tend to do the opposite of always trying to I just want to make sure, I want to be careful, I want to do this. And then what I find is you always are middle of the pack, right? Okay, you go out, you give a mediocre performance, you get a mediocre result. And if you go for it, that's when you get the chance. You got to try, right? So it's cool to watch. And I'm trying to pay attention.
You should, Jon. You should pay attention.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you, Tamie, it was nice having you here as usual. Being good friends with you and just watching you bring up, you said you've been working on your new string, and boy, all of them are impressive. And I know you're writing a couple, or maybe just one, Lillette 2. Is that Molly's horse as well?
Lillette 3.
3.
Got the wrong number, but 3.
3.
Lillette, she is a horse that the Dudas purchased for me. They approached me about buying a horse for me for future, as my mom was getting ready to retire, and they could see a kind of a hole in the string. And so we sourced her to try to find a horse for myself. But they do own her. Yes.
That's pretty cool, though. That's neat to see. And you see Molly out there competing and doing, you have your daughter, you have Molly, you have you. And it's funny because you're stamping your signature ride on these girls, just so you know. You look over and you go, oh, that's not, but it's, I mean, so good on you because it's working. Your writing abilities and how you look and what you do is working. So good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Tamie, so Lele 3 wins the short at Kentucky. And she, I'm assuming, came out of that in good shape and all of that. So what's the plan with her now? Because I know she wasn't at Tryon, I don't think, unless I'm missing it.
No, she wasn't. The plan was to always take her over to the UK and do Bramham in a few weeks. And so the horses leave. Molly has her horses. Kaylana has a horse, and Savannah has a horse. And those horses leave on the 21st to go over to the UK to kind of do another stint of kind of what we did on the East Coast and just like broaden our base, kind of we've measured ourselves against, the East Coast and what we did there. And the horses got really, I got a lot of feedback on what they're ready for and what's next. And then I just felt like it was time for Lele to kind of go to the next step. And so the plan is to do Bramham in a couple weeks, the 4 short there.
Cool. And so the girls are going
to compete their horses as well.
Right. And is she the only horse you're taking, or are you taking some other ones?
No, I'm only taking her. Keenan will come home and plan on a campaign of just being really relaxed. Like Tryon, I think, is the best he's been with me. He's kind of a big, strong, burly, just like nothing that you point in front of him he even looks at. But that's been kind of my problem with the rideability. And so I felt a level of relaxation that I've never felt with him. And I said, okay, I'm onto something here. So not going to push it even more. So he's coming home, and he kind of had a late start. He dumped me at the beginning of the year, and we thought maybe he did something, but turned out he didn't. So he ended up coming and joining me on the East Coast later. So I need to work up his fitness and get him for a fall campaign back, potentially Morven maybe again. And I know what I need to work on. I got to, do a lot of cross-country schooling and when we were out east and down in Florida and up in Aiken. And I have kind of a certain plan for all of them. But Lele really felt like she just really come into her own, and she's ready kind of to fire for something big. And so the plan is for her to do Bramham and then see what long format she will do for the fall.
Like the World Championships. I mean, what a good place to stage her for the selection. So good on you. So the trip over with it's got to be exciting going over there. I know you've been there a lot, but to take your daughter and Molly, I'm sure has Kaylana gone over there before?
Kaylana and Savannah have never had any abroad experience. Kaylana has gone over to look at horses, and Savannah has come over multiple times to groom for me. Savannah was the recipient of the Amanda Warrington grant this year, which is really cool because a lot of people don't really know her, and she hasn't really had a horse, but she's such an amazing talent, and Kaylana is a freak of nature. She's just unbelievable. It's just so natural for her. But Molly's been over there a couple times, and so it was,
only on a one shot.
Sorry, Tamie, keep going.
So Jen Duda just approached me and said, what if we took Savannah with us? And I'm like, what? Like, are you crazy? That's kind of a big commitment, and she's like, yeah, but we're producing, horses and riders for the future. And they're such supporters of the sport. They love the sport, and they want to provide opportunity to people and they've quietly watched Savannah and quietly watched, Kaylana, and they're like, are they ready? And I'm like, well, yeah, it would be an amazing opportunity to do that. So they just happen to own those 2 horses that they're riding. So they're putting a massive investment into our program to be able to take everybody over to England and be there, based there, kind of through September, I think.
Wow, that's exciting. That's the kind of that's great people. I'm going to send a shout out. Thank you so much to them, because that just makes Tamie smile as well. That's really cool. Really cool. Good for the girls, because that will be fun going over there, all four of you. And
yeah, I think it will be. It will be fun. It'll be really educational. They'll be able to see so many different events and watch the best of the best compete, and that's how you get better. I remember my first trip overseas and what it did for me. I was there for 2.5 months, and it just catapulted my confidence. It catapulted my riding. I just got this newfound, idea of what it really meant to, what I was really meant to do, and where I needed to go, and where my weaknesses were. And so I think it's going to be great for them.
That's awesome. Where are you basing out of?
We're going to be at Hoy Fonsecas.
And that's located?
That's located just in Oxfordshire, just outside of Marlborough, which is kind of very central to everything.
We love Marlborough.
Yes, Marlborough is amazing. It's like 20 minutes from there.
Yeah, we stay at the Ball and Chain when we go there.
Okay.
That's what we call it. It's not the Ball and Chain, but that's what I've called it.
I'm looking it up.
You look it up.
Okay. And his place is pretty impressive, isn't it? Didn't you just?
It's beautiful. It's a covered arena. They've got, hacking. They've got, and Hoy is so amazing. He's so accommodating. Like, we have to gallop every 4 or 5 days. He's taking us to a gallop. We want to go to a different ring. He's taking us there. We have to go cross country school. He's taking us there. The European tour kids have gone there. I guess they're not kids. All of them aren't kids, but they've gone there a couple times. And he's such a great guy. And the facilities, the footing, everything is like top notch.
Yeah, I believe we went there when we went on one of our trips and tried some horses there. He is a great guy, and it is beautiful, and he has it indoor as well, so it was really cool. Yeah. So, cool for you, in a great location. Jeez.
Yeah.
Right in the heart of it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you leave out on the 21st. What's the preps for you before you leave? Your husband going to travel with you?
No, he'll come. Sorry. Oh.
It's okay. Dogs are allowed.
Yeah, we like dogs. It's fine.
Okay, good. She's barking. He's been out a couple times on the East Coast, and now he'll be home. And I'll do Bramham, and then a lot of questions will be answered as far as team selection for the Worlds and like what I will plan on doing for a fall format. Molly is over there to try and make the team for the U25 World Championships in Mill Street at the end of July. So hopefully she actually makes that. And if she doesn't, then she will most likely do Blenheim. Kaylana is moving that horse up to advanced, and we'll decide. There's so many venues, and so her and Savannah will be competing at other events other than what Molly and I are competing at. But there's a couple Nations Cups, and so it's really exciting. I know there's maybe a plan to maybe go spend a couple weeks with my dressage trainer, Johann Hinnemann, who is in Germany, which I miss him so much. He's been away from California now for 2 years, so I pretty much haven't had a dressage lesson since he left. And so it'll be really good to see him and spend a little time with him, and just get some refresher.
I don't know that you need one. You got a 19.5 on Denito last week, so you might be okay.
It can always be better, John.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's cool. So, Tamie, one thing I just want to ask, because that trip is, it's so exciting, and you hear about that stuff, and people who don't know hear and they think, oh, like being Tamie Smith is just amazing, and she gets all this great opportunity. She gets to go all these places, and people who know you, we know how hard you work. Like, I saw you. I was right across from you in Kentucky, and I remember at one point, and I think this was very cool. You're out there, you were bathing your horse, you were hands-on, you're doing all the stuff. But another big part of this, I'm assuming, is you got all this going on, all these horses, trying to get team selection, trying to get these kids and your daughter set to go. you also have a business back home in California. So how do you manage that side of it to make sure that like it's not enough to just be like, oh, well, that'll be fine when I get back. Like it has to keep rolling while you're gone. So how does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, the people that are part of my team, and even, the clients they're part of my team as well. They understand, they know the goals, and they know most of the people that are part of my program are looking to be team riders or own a horse that they potentially want on a team. And so they always, I mean, it is hard. It's not always glorious for the people that are at home because those horses are staying home, like right now, Ellen and Eric, who own my bomb, we have a young horse, a young 5-year-old that's actually really stunning, and but he's at home, and we were kind of thinking when I was leaving, like, oh, we should bring him, and I'm like, it's an expensive trip to go east for a 5-year-old, and like, do I really have the time to invest in him? And so it is very difficult, but I really pride myself on communicating well with everybody, and we have plans on every horse, and I strategically, place them in places where, we're trying to, get them to that level where they could potentially be selected for teams or go to the next 5-star or 4-star. And so I think clear communication is really important, and the supporters that I have are, it's not just their horse, but it's like Ruth said this, because Ruth, we were going to send Denito with me or Keenan with me. And I'm like, you know what? Like, let's just go home and go back and support the events on the West Coast and look to doing that, because Denito really needs to do another 5-star. He doesn't really need to go out to Europe to do some 4-stars. And she said, well, I want you at the World Championships, whether you're on, Keenan, Denito, or Lele, or whoever it is. Like, I want you in a team. And so I think that that's what's so great, is having the people that it's not just about their horses and their goals, but it's about supporting my goals and getting to where we want to be, which is at the top of the podium at team competition. So I feel very, very lucky.
Well done. I mean, that's a lifetime of building, isn't it, Tamie? I mean, you spent your life doing what you're doing. And, I talked to you a bunch, and I love the fact that you said to me, I've learned how to say no to areas and things that you need to say no
Rick
to.
told me this, by the way, Tamie, not to interrupt Rick, I'm sorry, but he told me this, and I was like, oh no, I messed up the scheduling the last time we tried to get Tamie. She's going to say no, but I'm glad you didn't. So thank you.
I mean, I think we all are trying to self-improve. I think, I've gone from the bottom trenches of never even having any business. Anybody who knew me at the beginning, I never had any business even trying to get to the place that I am now and where I want to go. I don't even feel like I'm even in the realm of where I want to go. But I think we're all trial and error. We're all trying to do the best we can. It's such a stressful, when you're trying to do elite high performance, or you're trying to do something way bigger than what you, maybe your vision is that, but your talent isn't, or your support isn't. I think that what's really cool is, I'm a student of the sport, but I'm also a student of life, and I'm always trying to be better. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be a better mentor, trying to be a better wife and mother. And I don't claim to have done it all right, but I know I'm better at least every month. I might not be better every day. I might backslide at times. But I think that, like, the message is that we're all trying to be better. And the one thing about me is that I might be a little too passionate about trying to help people or make them, get to a certain area, or, I haven't always been great with my delivery and how I've wanted something done. But nobody can really doubt my intention and the place in that I've I've wanted to help the sport and give back. And it was to my detriment. Honestly, I found myself in a place where I was giving to the wrong things and putting effort and purpose into things that weren't healthy for me. And I was not giving to the things that were actually really amazing, which was my family and my close team. And I think that, you know, life has a great way of teaching you. And if you listen, then, you know, it goes the right way. If you don't listen, then it definitely keeps teaching you until you do. And I think I've figured that out, you know, with a lot of help with many different people, but I'm lucky to have the amazing supporters that I have. Like, I have a lot of friends and owners, and my owners are my family, but also just friends that have helped me along the way and mentored me. And luckily, I haven't always been I'm a little stubborn, and you know, think I have the idea, and I maybe try a little too hard to try to make things a certain way. But I feel like I'm in a really good place now, and I feel like I can really focus and center into what is important, and not, you know, like you said, Rick, like the other, or Jon, you said, oh, you know, we messed up on the thing. Like, I would have been on the show. I would have been late for my dinner. I would have been upset my owners because then I was late, but I didn't want to disappoint you. It's like, I was always doing things like that. And now I'm like, no, like, that can be rescheduled. This is the next thing that I'm supposed to do. So it's been a good lesson for me. And just, you know, honestly, just being more present with what I'm supposed to be at the moment, like teaching my lesson, riding my horses, understanding the schedule, realizing that I need more resources, understanding that I need to take a break. Like, those things are, I mean, I don't know that we all can fully learn those lessons, but hopefully, I mean, I've learned them. So, and well, I've never been happier.
For what it's worth, you have, obviously. Like, I remember the first time I ever met you, I think, well, the first time I remember meeting you was at Bromont. You drove all the way out to Bromont, and you had the bay horse with the white face, which was And I remember meeting you, and I was so impressed with you. Like, this beautiful woman from California comes out. She's got this amazing horse. You were out there to be competitive, but at the same time, as I maybe didn't realize it at the time, but as I think back, you were super excited and intense and wanted to be there, and maybe not as focused as you wanted to be, or understanding what you needed to be, which all of us start that way. And to see who you are now, which is this completely focused, fine-tooled machine. And, like, you know, I tease like the bad girl of eventing, but like, you're focused. Like, I see you at the events, and the thing that I've always respected about you is every time I see you, you seem to be more focused each season on what your goals are, and you are intense, but that's what it takes. Like, everybody who's any good that I've ever seen in any sport, but particularly in this sport, is singularly focused on what they're doing in the moment. And like, when I ride around in the rings with like you or Will or Boyd, I'm like, I better be really focused on what I'm doing, because these people are set on where they're going and they have their goals. And that's just one example of it. But like, I think it's admirable how you have evolved, just not just as a horsewoman, but as a human throughout. And I know this last year was a little bit intense for you, we'll say. But you came out this winter to Florida, and for what it's worth, and I'm not just saying this because you're here and I'm appreciative that you came on after I screwed up the schedule last time, but for what it's worth, I have thought this winter season, it's been very interesting because you are equally or more intense than the last time I saw you out on the East Coast, but also much more open and kind and laid back. And I don't know how you've done that, but it was obvious to me, even at Kentucky. I was like, she is focused on what she's doing, but also I could go up to you and I could talk to you. Not that I couldn't before, but it was just, you were much, there was a calmness about you this season as well, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think, I mean, honestly, this December, when I'm assuming you're referring to all the social media backlash, and it was, I'm really grateful for that. I mean, it was probably the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Maybe not the hardest. I lost Dylan when he was young, but from a personal standpoint, it was one of the hardest things I've ever experienced. And what was really hard is that I'm such a person that talks about, like, if somebody wants to talk about something, I want to talk back, and I want to explain my point, and but I couldn't. And I had to really do a lot of self-reflection and figure out why those misunderstandings happened, and that things could be real for people, that even though that they weren't real for me, why were they real for them? And it's, it was really hard to,
I hear you.
That I could affect, that I could affect people in the way that they said. And so, but it was good. I mean, honestly, I did a lot of soul searching, and I realized how much I wasn't focused and how much my, energy was being put into the wrong place. And it wasn't from that I thought it was like that. I just had no real idea that how my energy did affect people. And so that changed everything for me. And even though I've only wanted to help everyone, like, I grew up in a very old school, like, if you don't do it, I'll make you do it. And you don't come back unless you do it. It was very hardcore and very cutthroat, and that's not healthy. And I just had to learn how to be more open and have more love towards people, and understand that my leadership means something. I don't think I fully gathered, like, the importance of my role, and I do now. And I do understand that I have a stewardship to this sport, and a responsibility to be a good steward of the sport. And so, yes, I have closed my circle significantly, but I've also been more open to understanding what my energy is. And I think you're just realizing, or you're just recognizing that my energy is more open.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I agree. And well said, Tamie, and thanks for sharing. Because I mean, I've known you for a while, and I think in talking to you and finding your path and where you need to go and how you spend your energy is very healthy for you. And I think the other side of that probably wasn't. So I'm just glad I have a healthy, happy friend that is showing her way up to the top still in the sport. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And you're a badass, which is awesome, and inspirational to talk to and to be a friend with. So I appreciate that. What we should do now that we're in a prime spot for this, let's take a little break here, Tamie. And one thing I want to know when we come back out of this break, two things. I want to talk a little bit about Denito, because he is amazing. And I want to know what Lexus is doing right now. I know everybody always loves to talk Lexus. So let's do that. We'll have a little bit of fun. And thank you again to NupaFeed for sponsoring this segment. Rick, what's the website for NupaFeed again?
NupaFeedUSA.com. Order your paste or your daily supplement of NupaFeed, and it works really well.
We love it. All right. Thanks to NupaFeed. We'll be right back. Don't skip ahead on your podcast players and skip. Just listen to the advertisers, okay? Listen.
There might be a pop-up special announcement in these advertising. You should watch.
Good. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Bam.
Everyone says they feed the best, but not every feed is made the same. Seminole feed is built on fixed formulas. And made in a medication-free mill for unmatched safety. Every bag delivers consistency your horse can feel and performance you can see. Because when it matters, there is only one best, the original low-starch feed, Seminole Wellness.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
One of my favorite things to do is explore the stores at World Equestrian Center here in Ocala, Florida. When I do, I always make sure to stop in at I Love My Horse Equestrian Boutique. I Love My Horse is a one-stop shop for the latest trends in equine gear, protective equipment, show attire, and casual apparel. They're located in Arena 3 at the World Equestrian Center, right beside the Grand Arena. They've got all kinds of great products in the store. The horse shows are underway at WEC and HITS, and the eventing season is going full throttle. So if you forgot something, or if you just want to pick up something you need to start the season, I Love My Horse is the place to go. Already at the events at Majestic Oaks, Rocking Horse, or Ocala? No problem. I Love My Horse has an awesome mobile tack store just for you eventers. Penny and Terry and their team will take care of all of your equine tack and apparel needs.
The annual I Love My Horse Yellow Ducky sale is coming soon, February 20th and 21st. Join us for great sales and refreshments. Choose a yellow duck from the pond to reveal your discount at checkout.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are still with Tamie Smith, the wonderful, incredible everything to me and everybody else out there, at least to me. I know that's true. We're in the Equibrew segment, which Equibrew is a great live probiotic. Everybody, you've got to try it if you haven't. It's starting to fly off the Shopify shelves right now, so it's sort of exciting. And also, based on our other segment, Tamie, when you use Equibrew, it makes Nupa feed work even better. So go to brickfieldnutrition.com and order yours today, or you can go to equibrewusa.com. Again, a live probiotic, none other like it. I'm going to get some to Tamie when she gets back from Europe. I think I've given you some before, but I'm going to keep giving it to you because it's amazing. Now, Tamie, we're going to
You've never given me any.
Oh, well, I'm giving you some then. I think I did ship you some, Tamie. It was a long time ago. We'll have
hey, Lana probably took it.
Maybe.
Lana probably took it.
You might not have gotten it, but I will make sure you get it. But here we are, and the topic is, I want to go to Lexus right away, because I was lucky enough, Tamie, to be in Montana when you went out, won the 4 short, and then retired him. And you were so generous to go out there and have him stand for everybody, let them pet him. He was in hog heaven. Tell us how he's doing.
He's doing great. He is at home now and has his same field that he stays out in with his little brother and Denito. They're pasture mates. All of our horses are turned out, usually with a pair. There's a couple that don't get turned out because they don't like it. But most of the horses either have a partner or a second partner. And so Lexus gets turned out with Denito and with Bentley, who is his little brother. And he's also giving lessons to Ellen Ahern, who is his owner. And she has been coming out, obviously not while I was gone, but over the winter, she was taking lessons like once every other week. And we've already started cantering, which is really cool. It's been really fun because he is so adorable with her. It's like horses are so intelligent. He just knows. He knows he has to be exactly the right way. And with me, he was never like that. He was a very hot horse and very, big in his energy and always thought, like rose to the occasion and just walked on his tippy toes. But with Ellen, he is just like a school pony. It's so cute.
That's amazing. It's so true what you say. I mean, they are super intelligent, intuitive beings, and they understand that. I kind of relate it to Avatar, where you take the live thing and you connect it.
Yeah.
I think they do that with our spirits. They know.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's really cool. And it's been really fun. And he's super happy. Land Rover came out in this winter and did a big Defender excursion over at Galway. And it was so cool to see all these people do these off-roading and different types of sports. But then U.S. Equestrian did a like a demonstration, and Kaylani got to ride him and jump him. She's never jumped him ever in the whole time we've had him. And so she just got to jump him. And so he's still living his best life, looks great. I wish he wasn't, old, but
we all do get old.
Yeah, I know. We all get old. But he looks amazing. His body looks great. And David O'Connor was there and he was like, wow, you look so good. I go, I know. Will kind of joked with me at Rebecca Farm, and he's like, I don't know, he still has it in him. I'm like, yeah, but at what point do you keep going? When they're 19 and 20, you gotta pull the plug and just let them live their best life. So yeah, I know he would love to keep competing. We was joking with Ellen at one point. She's like, maybe you guys could just take him to a show like every 6 months because he loves going to shows. And so I'm like, no, but yes, he would love that.
Yeah, but the good thing is, Tamie, you can revel in the fact that he can look beautiful and incredible all the way up to his retirement, because that's just a testament to the care that he was given all these years. And to, look that good is just, my mother's 90 and she looks great. So there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see just how well within himself he is. It's really cool. He still cribs out on the pasture fence when, everybody's walking by, and he gets his foot caught in the pasture fence when he gets bored, and we have to go save him from doing that.
Release him.
Yeah. So it's really awesome. He's staying in there, and he's still in the same stall in the center of it all, and loves it. So he's doing great.
Well deserved. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Denito now. So he came out east, obviously had, I would say, a very successful trip because he just finished up at Tryon. I didn't get to see your test. 19.5 must have been pretty amazing. I was told it was. And obviously a great performance, and all in all, finished in first place. So what's he doing? What's the plan for him?
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of thinking about taking him over to the UK with me. He's 17 though. And I was kind of, Ruth and I were kind of going back and forth, and I'm like, I need to focus on like doing what I need to do with Lele. And I'd love for Denito to come back and maybe win 1 or 2 more US Opens and go back to Morven. That would be really cool. It's so cool because he's just like, it was funny. I was at Kentucky, and Ian Starks always loved Denito. And actually Ian's the one that convinced me, arm wrestled me into taking him to Maryland. And I'm like, he's not a 5-star horse. He's not going to be able to go around a 5-star. And he went around, and then he was second there, which was so incredible. Finished below a 30 on his finishing score. It was really incredible. And then he was in the warm-up. Ian was in the warm-up, and he's like, go enjoy yourself. I'm like, it's so fun to be on my old friend, And then, of course, he decided he didn't want to call the start box, and then he was, a lunatic, and then ran out of the corner. I was like, oh my gosh, what just happened? But at Tryon, he was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. And so he had some stuff. He'd gotten a close nail before that earlier in that week, and he put in a very good dressage test. Obviously, he was in the lead at Kentucky, but I think just everything, the stars weren't aligned, and who knows how much that played a role in his lack of wanting to, go out of the start box that day. I don't know, because they can't speak to us, and everything he was saying, he said he warmed up great, and then he said no. So ended up retiring. But Tryon, it was unbelievable. It's like so incredible, because the horse is dressage bred. It's not natural for him to be an event horse. He isn't the most stylish jumper. He wants to be careful, but like until I went and did Maryland's 5-star, he'd never show jumped clean at the 4-star level ever in his career. And now he's just, every year he comes back stronger. It's like people say this, and until you have a horse that goes up the levels and then has an injury and then comes back, it's like they almost just get stronger and stronger and better and better and better. And that's what all I can say is how he feels. And, I'm a steward of my horses. If ever they feel like they don't want to do it, then I'm quick to say, okay, not anymore. But he loves it. And, I just take day by day. I did the dressage. It felt great. I show jump, double clear. It was beautiful. I went to the cross country, felt amazing. We trot up the horses. We look at him. I'm like, oh my God, he looks amazing. It's like, it's so cool to just, see what they give us, because really he has nothing. He doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't need to give us anything, but we love him, and he loves his job. So we'll just keep going until he's, either his body says no or he says no. So I will say that I did get him because he was very nappy and a naughty boy. The first time I took him to a competition, he wheeled around coming out of the start box, which I did forget about.
You remembered at Kentucky, because I was watching and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be tough.
I remember. Thank God Heather was there, and
yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I know. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And then I'm like, he's never done that. And then, of course, Ruth's like, yes, he has. That's how I gave him to you. I was like, oh yeah. All right. Good point. He used to do it all the time.
It is funny how some of them get that way. And like, I've had a couple that did it all the time, but I've also had some that just on and off occasionally do it. And I will just say, just because I think it's a funny story that we should talk about. I don't think I've ever talked about it here on the show. I made a trip years ago out to Galway, which I gotta say to everybody.
I remember this story.
Yeah, if you get the chance, you need to go. Like, the one thing I think where the West Coast people have an advantage is they do have to make the trips. On the East Coast, we can get pretty complacent and stay home. And then all of a sudden, I've done it to myself where I find myself at a big competition. And then I go back and look at that horse's competition record. And I'm like, oh, I've never left the state of Florida with this horse until the most important day of its life. That's probably not great. So just before I tell the story, I will say, I think if anybody out there who is eventing and trying to get to the top level and you think, I can't make a trip to Europe, okay, you don't need to start there. Make a trip to the West Coast, go to Galway, go to Rebecca, make that effort, because it does teach you a lot about not just the travel, but also like going someplace you're uncomfortable. And there's no place on cross country that has made me more uncomfortable than galloping around Galway, because it is so different than any place else. And it was so educational for me. But the funny part of the story is I'm first to go in the 3-star on my very nice horse who I love so much. And I go down to get ready. And first of all, they sent me to the completely wrong end of the property to go to the start, because the gentleman in the warm-up thought that's where I was supposed to go, because that's where he went the last time. So then I had to turn around and I come all the way back down to the other side of the racetrack, and they aren't quite ready. And they go down, and the track has, the rail, and it's supposed to be spring loaded on each end so they can pull it out. Well, they forgot to pull it out. So then they're trying to pull it out. And my horse was a nervous-ish horse, not crazy, but a little bit.
He was ready to go.
He knew he was going cross country, right? And so they are trying to get the spring-loaded ends to let go, but they wouldn't let go. So they pull it as hard as they can, and it pops. And my poor horse panics, stands up on his hind legs, rears over, and falls over on top of me. And
oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm like, I cannot believe this. I have spent all of this money, time, and effort, and not actually my money, time, and effort, but a lot of other people's money to be here. And my horse just fell over on me. And so I sit up and I'm like, I don't think I can do this. And David O'Connor, Richard Picken, and Leslie Law are all there, and they're like brushing me off, picking me up. And I go, well, I can't possibly go. I don't have an air vest. My air vest popped, because I'm trying to like reason to myself, I don't really want to do this now. and they're like, no, you're getting on. And then Tammie's there, and she's like, don't worry, I got you an air vest. And I'm like, oh, Tamie, damn you. So I get Tammie's air vest on, and they throw me up on this horse, and off I go. And the horse was amazing and had a great performance there. He finished, I think, third in the 3-star, and I was super pleased with him. And I have said thank you to Tamie before that, before today, but it was a really stressful situation, obviously, but it was actually, as I think back on it, very cool how I had these 4 people that I respected hugely. And because they knew me, they didn't even really give me the option of like, no. You want to do this? It was like, you want to do this, get on.
You're going to do it.
Yeah, here's my vest. Don't be a wimp. Let's go. Yeah. And it's what I needed. And so I've always loved telling that story, because it was like just a complete cluster to the start box. And that horse never was like that at the start, but that time was pretty traumatic for sure.
Yeah, but that's a lesson like of just learning your surroundings and understanding what to do. And like we are out of our comfort zone all the time. Like I've never been around Ocala International or Stable View since the new course designer, or how Carolina has changed. We're always doing and going to places that we're not used to being at. And so I do think that has, but also it's very foreign out here. It is the oddest, thing to, and I think it's actually really hard. I think the eventing is almost harder because it's not so clear. Everything's, there's so many jumps on such a small, area, and it's very hard to focus. And so I do think that the horses get used to that. And then when they go and they are on courses where it is very clear, it's very easy for them.
Yeah, no, for sure. That same horse, I was out on the course about a third of the way around, galloping as fast as I could. I had the tree, maybe bush, that I had picked out to gallop back across the track. And about probably 150 meters from the gap, I realized it was not the gap. It was a giant culvert right in front of me. And I had to pull up practically to a halt and turn. I'm like, I am such a disaster out here. But to your point, you got to be uncomfortable, right? So you gotta compete.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So now you get to go to Europe and make those girls all uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're going to be very uncomfortable, but it's so good.
What's the ball and chain called?
So fun.
In Marlborough?
Mm-hmm.
Castle and Ball.
It's called, by the way, Marlborough is called the Castle and Ball that you got to go. It's a pub. You need to go.
Okay. We'll
really
be there.
Good. But we call it the ball and chain.
Okay. I like that better.
I know, me too.
I'll let them know.
I have Lucinda calling it that. Everybody that comes over there calls it the ball and chain. I'm like, nice. I guess I started it, but it's pretty cool.
Marketing campaign.
Yeah.
So Tamie, you're about to head out. I know you told us earlier, but just remind me, how long are you home now before you then head back?
I'm home this week. I leave on Sunday to go back over there. The horses leave on Thursday. So just giving them time to travel and just settle, and then I'll be there ready to ride on Monday.
So I'm assuming the horses stay east.
They're in Kentucky, actually.
Right.
So yeah.
Who are they transporting with, Tamie?
With Duda, the one and only.
Mr. Tim.
Mr. Tim Duda. They've been awesome, actually. They've been fantastic through the whole process. So we've always used them, and it's good where they're flying out of Chicago and going into Prestwick, which I think is the best, quickest, kind of way to get in there, and the least ground transport. So
That's awesome because they do a good job just scheduling everything, getting it all done, right?
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah.
Hey, Jon.
Yes, Rick.
I forgot. We could go to Tim and say, hey, give our podcast wings.
Oh, we should.
Give the podcast wings.
Give the podcast wings. Come on, Tim.
Come on, Tim. I've known him forever and ever.
Tim would do that. Tim would do that. Are you kidding?
I know. I'm gonna text him when we hang up. Hey, give our podcast wings. Tamie gave me the idea. I'm gonna say Tamie gave the idea.
Yeah, he's so good. And actually, we got quotes from another company, and they were by far the most affordable. So
yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Well, Tim's a great guy, and that company has done a ton for the sport. So I'm glad you're going with them. All right. Well, Tamie, I think we've probably kept you long enough. I really appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you coming on. And I just want to book it now. Once you make this trip to Europe and you have your amazing summer and you have that, I know you're not saying it, I'm saying it, so you're not going to jinx anything. You have that world championship medal around your neck. You'll come back on the podcast, right?
Yeah, I'll come back.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
Because we'll have wings.
Yeah.
Tamie, good luck. We're going to be cheering for you. I'll send you WhatsApp messages and just keep update. I want you to keep us updated. Let us know how you're doing. All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you. Rick, are you going to sign us out or do you want me to do it?
Hey, you sign us out, Jon, because you like closing things up.
I do. I'm the closer.
Go.
All right. So thank you to Equibrew, an awesome live probiotic. You go to brickfieldnutrition.com and the Equibrew elves are going to get your packages all packed up and shipped out of Ocala, Florida to anywhere in the United States that you need it. They are going to get you all set up. So thank you, Equibrew. As always, thank you to Horse Trailer Pros. They are amazing. If you're ever out here on the East Coast, Tam, and you need something done with your trailer, Horse Trailer Pros is the company to call. Matt and his team will look after you. And most importantly, thank you, Tamie. And also, I would say probably equally importantly, thank you to all of you for watching and listening to the show. We truly appreciate each and every one of you.
Go on forever.
I know. Rick, you have to. This is how you close out a show. Tamie is enjoying it. I can see her smiling.
I know she is, but let me say, you did a great job. But let's do this for Tim. Hey, everybody, give wings to our podcast.
Hold on. Dog's barking. Start again.
Go. Hey, this is what we got to do to close it for Tim, Duda. We're going to go, and the only podcast that has wings.
Good job.
You're supposed to have wings.
Wings. You got to have wings. You fly. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Horse Trailer Pros. Thank you, Tamie. Thank you, everybody, if you're watching. We appreciate you, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thank you.
We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.